Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast. We've got Big E, we've got AJ, we've got Rudo coming to you live on a hump day at the end of July. Figured, you know what better to do than categorize some Avalanche players, but not just the names you hear every day, but you know, some of the other guys on the team. We'll get into it. We talked about the best defensive forwards the other day. Kind of inspired me. Maybe you guys want to know who on the Avs are the best shooters, passers, skaters, and more. There you go. There's the full list. We'll talk about it, except no Nathan Mackinnon and no Cale Makar, because let's be honest, for a number of those categories, they would just be number 1 and 2. So let's actually talk about some Avs players instead of just them today. Before we do get into that, though, I do want to talk about a little bit of news. We're not the Jersey podcast. We'll never be the Jersey podcast. It's just not our thing. However, the rumors are out there that the Avs are bringing back the reverse retro Nordiques jersey. However, the home edition, which I have always said I would instantly buy. However, it does sound like it's in blue. I was hoping it would be in burgundy because I think that would absolutely slap. But hooray, Jersey people. The first Nordiques retro is like many people's favorite Avs jersey ever. So neat. Fun times.
Yeah, I mean,
true.
Yeah, I'm not, as you guys know, like I'm not a third jersey guy. Again, I'm old school. We don't have to go back to the red line. I get it, you know, but I'm old school. Like I liked when there was whites at home, darks on the road, no third stuff. I'm boring that way. You got to remember, God, if I can find the jersey, I'll send it to Tiff here. But I think the first time that we had third jerseys, I was playing in the league and we were in LA, and boy, oh boy, the Burger King jersey was just atrocious. And I remember having to model it in the summer, right? You know what I mean? Just because I was living in LA and I had to go do the press conference with the jersey. And I remember I was like, oh boy, that is just not my type. You know what I mean? The boys are going to die. And I tell you, the first time they brought him out, like everybody walked in the dressing room and was like, what is this? Like, it was awful. So I'm not saying the Avs have been awful. I'm saying I absolutely couldn't care less the next 20-something years until the Avs Quebec Nordiques logo there. I thought that one was awesome. I mean, I have it right next to me here. I can grab it at the commercial. But are you kidding me? Like, that was unbelievable. And I love that one. And if they bring it back, then so be it. I love it, you know. But I'm the wrong guy to ask about all those things, you know what I mean? Because I'm so old school. But that Nordiques one, if it's coming back, that'd be awesome.
Yep. It's neat.
Cool.
I like it. Just one piece of Avalanche news in the desert that is July and August. So had to get it in there. There is one other news item that I kind of wanted to talk about. Just kind of wanted to get your guys' opinions on this. As we've progressed through July, the deadlines of some of the guys who filed for arbitration with the RFA deals, we've seen two big deals in particular over the last week or so. In Dylan Sandberg's deal, which just got done yesterday / this morning, and Jackson Blake in Carolina, he got $5 million over 8 years there. Are we seeing this trend? Because first of all, Jackson Blake has played exactly one NHL season. He's 22, and he put up 34 points, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then Sandberg has a little bit more experience. He's 26, a little bit older. He's a defenseman, but he maxed out at 20 points and got nearly a $6 million deal. Are we starting to see teams either willingly or not, maybe being forced into taking a little bit more risk with these contracts on RFA guys that certainly in the Jackson Blake conversation, yeah, there's a plenty of reason to believe he can become a quality player better than what he performed this season, but you're paying $5 million for a guy with 80 NHL games experience that hasn't put up the type of numbers we've come to expect for maybe a contract of that size. Is this just the new market, or is this teams trying to take risks and find value this way?
I think in specifically in regards to the Blake deal, it's a little bit of risk for both sides, because the reason that the Hurricanes were comfortable giving him that deal is because they think he's going to be really good. So $5 million, I mean, already, like, it wasn't that long ago we were having a conversation about the Avs rolling into the season with a $5 million third line center. And we were like, hey, it's a little bit inefficient, but it's not entirely out of whack. Like, it's not a gross overpayment for that guy, right? Jackson Blake, like, played a lot of top 6 minutes for them last year. You know, he was really good. And I think that it's easy to believe that there's a lot more offensive potential in a guy that's 21 years old. Yeah, he's got one NHL season, but I think that it won't be very hard for him to live up to the $5 million price tag over the life of that deal, and could end up being a situation where he left an enormous amount of money on the table. And that said, I mean, he's got an NHL contract for the next 8 seasons. 9 seasons, really, because he's still on his ALC.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that deal goes away next year because it also has deferred money and the 8-year deal. Next September of 2026, both of those are levers that the Hurricanes can't pull anymore. So I think that is a notable aspect of the Blake deal. But also I just think that they're fine paying like a middle of their roster player what should be very fair value. They should get surplus value out of that long term. I imagine they're going to feel really good about that deal. And Blake makes what, $40 million after one NHL season. He got $40 million guaranteed coming to him. I mean, that's a pretty good deal for him.
Not guaranteed, technically.
Well, yeah, I mean, 2/3.
Yeah.
So, a couple things I want to talk about this. But first, I want to go back to arbitration for a second. We always remember we talked about it 2 weeks ago. Like we were talking about all the filings, and not one has gone through ARB yet. Like they've all settled before, so it's always the same thing. But I want to remember, because I know our chat's very educated, but to some guys that maybe are new to the arbitration system, not you guys, not some of our regular on the chat, but if you look at the
He's talking about you specifically.
Yeah, well,
he's talking about me.
I would talk about myself because I'm not good at that. I would refer to you guys. That's why we're a good team. No, Tiff's the best, but I'm sure Tiff doesn't understand all those nuances. But here you go, Tiff. Listen to what I'm going to say. So it's going to say Sandberg player asked was $6 million, and then the Winnipeg Jets offer was 2.6, and then what is he signed at 5.8 or something? Right?
5.75. Yeah.
Some people are going to be like, oh my God, look, he kicked his team's butt. No, guys, that was for a 1-year deal with no UFA years in there. So now when you're looking at the 3-year deal he signed, there's UFA years in there that enhance the number. So it's nothing to do with, oh my God, he got what he wanted. On a 1-year deal, he wasn't getting $6 million. You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure everybody understands. And then you always try to settle before, because it's not fun to go through it. It's not. And I don't care. It's water on the bridge. It's this, it's that. You still go through it. You still hear stuff. And I think the easiest case for me to talk about is the Swayman deal. I think it just didn't go well. It didn't sit well with anyone. And I think you look at the disastrous year it created. It is what it is, right? So anyway,
arbitration is basically guaranteed to ruin the relationship between the player and the team, because you sit there in a room in front of other people and they have to tell them every reason why you suck.
Yeah, it usually does. And it's not, it is what it is, right? And then what we were just talking about, the Blakes and stuff like that. Here's my take on it. I'm a pro player. You guys know that. Even I worked in management. I was a player. I love the guys that, they're making money now compared to, again, my era. We were lucky because the era before that was crazy. Like Goo and I talk about it all the time. Like, you know what I mean? The disparity between the eras are crazy. But that's the way the system is now. You have a Jackson Blake that comes in, and a lot of people wouldn't know who he is. We know who he is because, we love to know everybody's players, but to someone that doesn't follow the Carolina Hurricanes, you don't really know him. I remember his dad, you remember all this and all that, but good on him. AJ just said it. He's basically guaranteed $40-something million after 8 months in the NHL. Lane Hudson, God, I love Lane. One season, he's going to sign for close to $100 million. So, and again, do I think Lane can do it again? Absolutely. Do I think Lane should get? Yes. But we're saying it's a different era. Back then, the Joe Sakic's, and they had to score 50, 60 and get some, to go and earn it. Like my dad wouldn't give it to him. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you have no rights. And, okay, take me to arbitration, until the offer sheet came. And that unlocked a little bit. But that's the way the system was back then until you were 31. So Joe Sakic would have been 18 years old playing in the league at 19, whatever it was. You had to wait 12, 13 years to hit that UFA. You know what I mean? So now it's all based on projection, and you got to do your homework right, or you're going to get fired. I mean, you do a couple of those deals that are wrong, and that's a lot of money. You know what I mean? If you're wrong on a couple of those guys. So good on the guys, good on the system. That's awesome. But it's just a different mindset now. And I do believe that this is, the management will say right now is, I do believe that it takes away a little bit from the hunger from those players. I think it's human nature. I think it just takes away a little bit of the hunger. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just maybe because I'm so old school and brought up in that way, but we'll see. Time will tell on a lot of those deals.
So you're telling me $6 million is the new $4 million. Got it.
Or $6 million is the new $750 back then, but whatever. Guys getting 20, 30 points, and I'm like, they're signing for $4 million. I'm like, yeah.
It's a different era in the NHL.
Anger here.
League's making money these days. Tell you that much. That was the only really news that I had. I'm sure we'll see some of these last few arbitration. There's 6 or 7 guys left, I think, that still need to be signed when it comes to arbitration deals. But we've also seen some other ones. Connor Timmins signed a $2.2 million deal, which felt a little bit on the high side, but and if you
probably was getting it right. I mean,
this is just, I just have to get over it, right? This is what hockey players make now. It
is, and you know what? I remember, because we used to talk about guys from before me, our era, and guys were so frustrated. And it was like, why are you frustrated? This is great. We're all in this together. So I'm not frustrated, but yeah, it certainly is a big difference. You know what I mean? It's a big difference.
It is a big difference. Hopefully things keep going well for the NHL, but we need to take our first break of the show. So let's make sure I'm not making even 1/100th of $2 million, but hopefully I can help us make a little bit of money, as we are brought to you by the folks over at Game Time. You can jump in with Game Time today. There's a link down in the description to get the app. Join over 15 million people that get their tickets through Game Time. And the coolest part is you can get $20 off your first purchase with code DNVR in the Game Time app. You can also save in a bunch of different ways when you use Game Time's Game Time Picks feature. Filter out all the junk, see what tickets you want, and they'll show you the best prices for what you're looking for, whatever the event, whether it be a Rockies game or if you're not local, whatever your local baseball team is, maybe a baseball team that doesn't suck. But yeah, the Rockies have actually won a ton of games lately. So they got that going for them. You can also go to events like concerts or the theater or wherever you're headed where you can get tickets. Jump in with them. You can also get great last minute deals by saving up to 60% off when you wait for the last second to get your tickets. Tons of other ways to save too. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app with the link in the description. Create an account and use that DNVR code for $20 off your first purchase. Of course, terms apply, but get that DNVR code in there for $20 off with Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. What time is it? Is Game Time, baby. Once you got your tickets to your next event, make sure you're also taking care of the home front too. You got to have your floors looking good. You got to be walking on the good stuff. That's why I like carpet. Feels good on my feet. Empire Today can get you the right carpet or hardwood or tile, whatever flooring you're looking for. Empire Today is the dedicated flooring experts. They focus on flooring every single day. They only carry the best products out there, so you know you're getting good quality stuff from them. And you can either go online, use their tools there, or you can get a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. And when you use code DNVR, you'll get $350 off your floors. Yep, you heard that right. $350 discount with code DNVR over at Empire Today. When you get that free in-home estimate, they'll bring out floor swatches so you can see what it looks like in your space with your furniture, and everything will look great. So jump in today. Of course, restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/DNVR for full details. Or, of course, you can always call 1-800-588-2300. Empire. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Let's jump in. Oh, my God. Look at that hideous jersey.
Burger King jersey. That's the one I was talking about earlier. I remember I was like, oh, I don't want the great guys working at the Kings. That's not the point. But I remember putting on that thing and I was like, oh my God. It was just like, yuck. And then you have to put the patch just to, to show that, it is the Kings. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so much better. This is so much better. Look, that was
sometimes you don't have to be that creative. Just slap the logo in the middle of the jersey, put your colors on it, and call it good. All right. Keep it simple.
I like when the other some teams go back to the old jersey. I think the Bruins are going back to it this year. The Kings went back to it. I like that.
Yeah, some consistency. Stop doing crazy stuff, especially if it doesn't look cool. But beauty's in the eye of the beholder on that front, I guess. Let's jump in to our list, our rankings, our categories, whatever you want to call them, of the day. We're looking at 5 different categories for the top Avalanche players. We've got shooting, passing, skating, hitting, and most beloved Avs, with the caveat of you can't say Nathan MacKinnon or Cale Makar anywhere.
And this is current lineup, right?
Yes, this is current Avalanche players, not all time or anything like that. Otherwise, we'd have to exclude a whole lot more dudes. I think this is interesting because the Avs lineup obviously changed a ton over there. Eric's got his hand up. He's got something to say.
Yeah, I mean, again, current Avalanche, but I have a question. Maybe he makes the list somewhere. I'm not sure. Like, does the cat count? Do we pretend the cat's there or not?
Meow. No Kivy.
No Kivy. All right. Yeah.
He wouldn't be on here anyway. He sucks.
Maybe for beloved for me, my beloved Kivy.
Let's just start at the top and we can work our way down. Best shooters on the Avalanche. Makar certainly would make the list. I don't know that MacKinnon would necessarily. He'd probably be in the top 4, but I don't think he'd necessarily be at 1. When you're looking at the Avs' best shooters, I mean, who springs to mind immediately? I have a couple of ideas, but I'll let you guys take the floor.
I think number 1 for me is Brock Nelson.
Yeah.
We didn't really get to see a ton of it, obviously, and didn't see it at all in the playoff series. But But Nelson's a really good shooter. He's a really good goal scorer. I mean, you don't have several 30-goal seasons in a row without being a really good player. So for me, I think it starts with Nelson. His ability to score from several places on the ice, really big.
I would agree. I don't really think you can put anyone else at 1. It can't be Mackinnon. You could probably put Makar at 1, but again, we're excluding him. So I think it has to be Nelson. Look, I'll throw a name out there. I think Ross Colton should at least be on the list.
I'm making the list everywhere right now, so I'm leading.
I'm not sure that I would have Colton there.
Okay.
Because I think I would start it with Nelson, and then after that, I'm open to a conversation between Necas and Nichushkin and Landeskog.
I struggle with Nichushkin a little bit. Not that he isn't a good goal scorer, but I have him in a similar category with a guy like Mackinnon, probably a better shooter than Mackinnon. But how many of those goals are raw shooting ability versus a guy who gets to the right areas and puts pucks into the net?
Yeah. Like a healthy chunk of Nichushkin's goals are exactly that. Same as with Mackinnon, right? Like,
yeah.
Yes. You are correct. But I do. How do we balance? Because I think Necas is a much better shooter, but doesn't do it as frequently as he should.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with Necas on the list, but E, what do you have to say about it?
Well, again, I'm going to raise my hand again. Can I add Brad Hunt? You know what I mean? Like, what if we're signing Brad Hunt?
I mean, Jacob McDonald's actually signed.
That's true. Yeah, I'm just saying. But remember, he had the bomb. Like, it was crazy.
So good.
Yeah, no, I like Nelson. I do believe Marty should be right there to where, I mean, you're right. You don't see it enough, but it does remind me of Milan at times. It does, just the way he shoots it. You know what I mean? The way he releases it. He's got to be there. I think he's got to be there. But I like Nelson at 1. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But then I watched one morning skate. I watched Val shoot for like 20 minutes. Remember, that's the day I was like, oh my God, he's going to get a hat trick. I've never seen a guy shoot bombs like that. You know what I mean? And then he got the hat trick the next night. Not that night, but we missed it by 1. But yeah, I think I would go Nelson, Marty Party, Val. That's just the way I would go. And I don't mind Ross Colton in there. What about Brent Burns? Like, should we? Doesn't he? I mean,
no.
Yeah.
Can't.
No?
You can't put Burns in. Not that he's a bad shooter, but that shooting percentage is way too low to let him be in the top 4.
True.
Yeah, 6 goals last year. He had a tough year.
True. Does Taze have a good bomb? I mean, I don't really.
Not really.
But honestly,
somebody said
I agree. Mikko would have been right there. That's for sure.
Yeah, Mikko would have been number 1 if he was still on the team. He'd be in an excluded category, to be honest, if he was still here. I think it's tough to put any other defenseman in the shooting category just because of how singular of a talent the Avs use Cale Makar in that instance. There's just not really enough opportunity for the other defensemen to put themselves in the shooter list. So I'm good with Necas at 2. I do think he is probably the next best shooter, even if he does not use it at all of the times. I'm good with Landy on there. He was on my list. Are we back? I think we're back.
Sorry, fam. The power went out in the building. So it wasn't us this time. It was just the building.
All right.
It happens. So, is what it is. Apologies. Continue the show. All right. So we have Nelson 1. We should have Natchez 2, I think. I'm pretty comfortable with that. We're getting in the conversation of 3 and 4. For me, it's Landy and Colton. Who else should you have at least consider or should have in consideration, rather, for this list? Is it Nichushkin? Is that the only other one realistically?
I mean, Landeskog, Nichushkin, I think are both better shooters than Colton.
You're the decider. You want Nichushkin or Colton in 4?
I know, because I forgot about Landy. I still forget that Landy's back. Landy's 1 in my book and everything. I'm kidding. Well, could be close. All right. I'm going to go with Ross the boss, just because.
Let's go.
I want to fight AJ after. That's why. Let's get going. I'm kidding. I think they're both good. They're both fine there.
He's always scrapping in the parking lot. Yeah. Kind of talked about it earlier, but I think pure shooting ability, I would say Colton, just because he doesn't maybe necessarily get to some of those areas as well. At least in his Avalanche tenure, I think he's done a better job of pure shooting ability. Yeah, I think if you look at some of his goals come from right areas, some of his goals come from getting free pucks right in front of the net. Best meme of the year, but
maybe Val gets like best net front, but it's a non-category. Here you go.
Sure.
I don't even know if he would. I mean, with Landy, Mackinnon, Nichushkin, like best net front is actually pretty competitive.
All right, that's true. See, AJ's coming back at me. Put him up.
I mean, I think he'd have won the power forward conversation until Landy got healthy, but
yeah.
All right. He said Colton, so we're putting Colton 4th. Deal with it.
All
People
right.
can be mad that it's not Nichushkin. It's fine.
I'll let you guys be wrong.
That's fine. We can blame Rudo. If you have a word, just blame Rudo.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind getting blamed. We get to category 2 in a second here. We got to take another quick break, I think. I don't know what time we're at with our issues, but we'll just we'll do it, and then we can talk about the rest of the show. Of course, if you are watching us and you need to take care of your money, you got to take care with Monarch Money. You can start managing your finances to build the life you actually want. Monarch Money makes managing money simple, even for busy lives. You can put all your accounts, all your credit cards, all your investments in one place, and you'll always know where your money stands without any hassle. Whether it's tracking your spendings or your savings or even your investments effortlessly, Monarch Money has your back. They're the finance tool that people actually love. Rated the best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal, and it's one of the top recommended personal finance apps even out there by users and experts. They've got over 30,000 5-star likes. So don't make your finances messy and confusing. Get Monarch Money to act as your personal CFO. It's more than just your average budgeting app. Go check them out. You can go get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money and use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR. And once you've gotten your money taken care of, got to get your stomach taken care of. And that is where Raising Cane's comes into play. Whether you're heading out on your next road trip or just picking up lunch, RaisingCanes.com can order online or use the Raising Cane's app to satisfy your chicken finger fix in a snap. At Raising Cane's, every chicken finger is hand battered and cooked to order. Every crinkle cut fry is crispy and perfectly salted, and every piece of Texas toast is buttered to perfection. Of course, all of that made to be dipped in the Raising Cane's sauce that's made in a restaurant each and every single day. Are you hungry yet? Get your order in today, whether it's on the app or in the store at a Raising Cane's near you, and keep the road trip going. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast as we move into the best passing category. This one is an interesting one, especially when you remove Cale from the topic. I'm curious if a defenseman makes the list for you guys in the passer category.
No.
You're muted, AJ.
Everything's breaking today. This is so cool.
Yeah.
I think Taves makes this list for me, but not at the top of it.
Okay.
No.
I'm good with Taves on the list. I also would not have him at the top, but I'm good with him somewhere on there. It's a guy who regularly puts in 40 assist seasons, things like that, or close to 40 assist seasons. I don't want to be like super repetitive with it, but given we just talked about Nate just has a good shot but doesn't use it, does he make the passing list too?
I think he's the best passer.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Me too.
He does.
Me too.
Towards the front.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would have him.
He's an elite player. So he's an elite shooter, elite passer. We all know he's not an elite checker, you know what I mean? But the things he has are shooting, passing, skating. He's going to be in those categories, absolutely. So, I mean, I have him probably at 1. That's me.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy to put Nate just at 1 on the passing list. No arguments there. When you talk about who's coming in next, I want to have an interesting conversation. This one might be tough to have for 2 reasons. 1, Gabe Landeskog hasn't played in 3 years. 2, Gabe Landeskog has always been a very good passer, but it's never been flashy. He's always made the simple, smart, intelligent passes that set players up for success, but they rarely make you go, wow.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I mean, he's got 7 seasons of at least 30 assists and would have more than that without some of the injury/shortened seasons that he's had. So, I mean, I would probably have Landeskog at 2 on this list. For me, I would have Landeskog at 2.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with it.
Yeah, 2 and 3 are Landy and Taves for me. I don't really care which order you want to put them in.
I don't care either, so I'm going to give it to AJ. Then we can blame AJ after.
Perfect. That sounds fun. Landy at 2, Taves at 3 is easy.
Yeah, I'm good with that. We've now blamed me and AJ, so we got to find something to blame E for next. That's the plan.
I escape it. I deflected.
You can blame me for everything.
Yeah, I deflect.
All right. Those 3 felt pretty easy. 4th on this list, pick your poison.
For me, I think this is Sam Girard. The way that he gets pucks out of the defensive zone and into the neutral zone, he doesn't get the point totals.
Sorry, I was thinking that too.
Yeah, doesn't get the point totals as the other guys, but like we know, he was not going to make this list as a shooter, but as a passer, he's a really effective passer. He creates a solid amount of offense. That's how he does it. He uses his legs and finds teammates at a really high rate. So I would have him. Mackinnon and Nichushkin are both guys. They play in the top 6. They have really low assist numbers. Brock Nelson too. Really low assist numbers here. They're not bad passers. It's just not something that I think is like a real stated strength of theirs. And with Girard, I think he's really good at it. Also, with no Mackinnon and no Makar, this list is really 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the team. Yeah. And so that I think makes it possible for Girard to sneak in on this list.
Yeah, my little buddy Sammy for sure makes it. I'm good with that at 4 there. I'm good with it. It's deceiving too. Sometimes you're like, who made that play there? And then you're like, whoa, I like it.
I'm
And
good with Girard. Go
he
ahead.
usually, because he retrieves those pucks so fast, because he's so fast, and he has more time than the three of us combined would. You know what I mean? To make a play, because he's so quick on the puck. You know what I mean? So, when you have time, you can be deadly.
I forgot about Brent Burns. He hasn't played for the Avs yet, so I continue to forget that he exists. Burns probably should be ahead of Girard.
Let's have a conversation about that. I wasn't going to go here, but Brent Burns picks up a lot of assists. However, are they assists in the sense of he's a good passer, or are they assists in the sense of he's a good shooter?
Yeah,
Because
there's a lot of shot assists.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how you quantify that into a passer category. I think you could make a case for it to be Girard as the better actual passer, even if Brent Burns picks up more assists.
The one thing about Burns, and this is not a knock on him, this is actually a guy on the Avalanche that was playing trivia with me all year long in the locker room, but he led the league in icings 2 years in a row. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying it matters. I still like him. I like the signing. I'm saying I think he's more assists from shooting than tape to tape pass or what we were just talking about Sammy G. You know what I mean? So to lead the league in icings, you gotta miss a few.
Yep.
Tape to tape. But that and I like him, not bashing him. I'm just saying. So
just to play devil's advocate quickly, I think you could make a case for Brock Nelson. I wouldn't have him over Girard, but he is a guy who has had at least 30 assists in all of the last 3 seasons. Definitely known as more of a goal scorer. I wouldn't put him on the highlight reel passing, but he is capable of producing in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, with Mackinnon, Nichushkin, and Nelson, I put them all in kind of like the same cluster here of they're not bad passers, but when we're talking about like best on the team, it's not a standout trait in any of their games.
For sure. I think that's a good way to put it. Moving on to the skater category, Natchez is going 1. There's no argument. Everybody knows that with Mackinnon and Makar off the list, the next best skater. You could maybe even make an argument that if you're talking pure speed, Natchez might be better than those guys.
I think he'd be better than Makar and worse than Mackinnon.
Sure. Fair enough. With them excluded, there is no doubt that Natchez is 1 on the skater list. And then the conversation begins after that. The Avs have plenty of quality skating talent on the team.
I would throw Logan in there. I would throw Logan in there.
Yeah, I'm down.
When we're talking skating, it's interesting because like this is the Sam Girard conversation again is interesting.
Smooth
because
versus
Girard isn't very fast, but his edge work and his balance are elite. He's an unbelievably well-balanced skater. You have to be very good on your edges in order to play at the size that he does and the way they and get through games. But not fast. Like Sam Girard's not ever going to win a foot race. Right? Like we see him get chased down in open ice often enough that that's not the strength here. With Natchez, it's everything. With Girard, I think it's a lot more speed, not there. Balance, edge work, those are there. So is there somebody better than that? I mean, I think you could make a good argument for Taves. And then like LOC, for sure, the speed is there. And that's, I don't think too much about like his edge work. I don't know that I've ever really thought much about it. I think it's fine, but he's fast. I mean, fast.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not arguing about Sammy in there, so I love it. So I'm not, you know what I mean? Yeah, Big Val. I mean, Big Val is a straight, the big rig. You know what I mean? Like he gets
going.
The Avs are fast, so there's a lot of guys in there. The Avs are fast. They're a fast team.
Yeah.
I'm sifting through a couple of guys. LOC has to be on there, just for the raw speed ability. When you're looking at the rest of the team, LOC's is up near the top when you get past those tip top guys. The Gerard conversation, I'm comfortable with having him on the list, just as long as we understand like what AJ was talking about. I don't think Taves can make the list.
He's a really good skater, man.
He's really smooth, but he also just doesn't have that burst.
Yeah.
Which, like, even when you compare it to someone like Gerard, I think Gerard has a higher top speed. It's just that Taves' positioning is so ridiculously good that he doesn't ever have to skate that fast.
Underrated in this is Brock Nelson, who's a really good skater.
That is a good point. I had skipped over Nelson.
True.
I think it gets ignored a little bit because of how big he is, and he's a really good shooter, but that guy moves.
I think I would have it Natchez 1, LOC 2, Gerard 3, Nelson 4. I think that's what I would have.
I'm fine with that list, with the understanding that this would be the most competitive category. If we ranked 10 of them, I think that this would be an incredible category. It shows you, like, this is where they start, right? With their evaluation of a player, it starts with their skating.
Yep. You have to be a good skater in Colorado. They tried Ryjo once and said, "We're never doing that again."
Yeah.
You said Gerard Nelson?
Yeah.
I agree. I'm good with it.
Probably like Nichushkin or Taves, a close 5. Yeah, it's from top to bottom. It's like the 100-meter sprint, right? It's a 0.1 difference from first to last.
Yeah, I think anywhere between LOC and then Taves and Nichushkin, honestly, you could make a strong argument for any of those guys, and I would just say, all right, I mean, that's fine.
Yep.
Like, I don't feel really strongly that any of these guys has to be ahead of one another. The list that we have is fine. We could stretch this. I mean, Parker Kelly's a good skater. Ross Colton's a really good skater. You know, like there's a lot. I mean, not the same kind, but Gabe Landeskog's pretty good on his skates too. Sam Malinsky's a good skater. For a guy that does what he does, Josh Manson's good on his feet. You know, like that's a really solid category for the Avs, and because that's their prime. Like, this is what we want to target first and foremost. Brent Burns, not such a great skater, but he's also ancient, so we forgive him.
You can't be perfect at everything, all right?
No, a lot of guys fit in that category because they all, like you said, everybody plays fast. I mean, everybody skates.
Yep.
And Miles Wood would have made the list. Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, easily.
Not on the team anymore, though. So let's move into the hitter category, the physical category, whatever you want to call it. I'm assuming we're going Josh Manson 1, or are we willing to give the nod to like an LOC type or something like that?
Manson's 1 for me, 100%.
Yeah. I think the top 3 for me are pretty easy for this. Manson being number 1 with a bullet.
Agreed.
Yeah, he's that guy on the Avs. I don't think there's any argument at 1.
You want to know why Josh Manson got re-signed when he did? It's because they looked around and said, we can't replace him.
Yep. He does a thing that ain't nobody else do.
Yep.
That's what he brings to the table. But besides being a good guy, but that's he can be a game changer in between the blue lines. Blue line to blue line. He's good. It's an art. He knows how to time himself. He likes it. You know, it gets him involved. He's by far the best hitter the Avs have. And I mean, again, I would put number 2, and I say it all the time, and I say it on on our shows all the time. Cale Makar would be number 2 for me. Such an under. This guy's an amazing hitter. People don't even know that, and it's funny because you see out of towners like from different teams, and they're like, "What? Wow, Makar just did that." Well, yeah, he's an unbelievable hitter. It's all about timing, and he knows how to do it. But obviously, he's not on the list. But Manson, by far, for me, is. I'm not saying the most hits. I'm saying the best hitter. He's number 1.
Yeah.
Hits, obviously a flawed stat for a lot of reasons, but just to list off last year, Avs hits, Manson, of guys that are still on the team, Manson was 3rd. Ahead of him, both Parker Kelly and Ross Colton for total hits.
Both of those are the next two guys on my list.
There you go. I think there's no doubt Kelly should be on there. If you've watched him play, that's just, he's got the LOC crash test dummy style of hockey in him for sure. Just go out there and run into stuff. Is his hitting as effective as Josh Manson? No, because, well, he's not as big a dude as Josh Manson. So there maybe are some limitations there, but I certainly think Parker Kelly should be on the list. I don't know if I think of Colton as quite as physical of a player, but clearly he's out there doing stuff along the boards. Certainly when he's not